Welcome everybody to today's episode, Kyo Game 22, the Vixen Archetype. And yes, as usual, we like to be silly and bring a little bit of that silliness to you just because it is a lot of fun. But without further ado, let's get started here and let Kyo go through the 12 points we'll be analyzing today in the explanation of the Vixen, because today it's all about the Vixen.
Kyo Game 22, the Vixen Archetype Stink Bomb Mode 7, live interview. Today's interview map points we will cover what the Vixen Archetype really is, how Vixen Mode activates in real life, core gifts of healthy Vixen energy, shadow Vixen survival patterns, how society misreads Vixen energy in relationships, Vixen energy in work and social systems, Vixen versus Siren, key differences, how Vixens get manipulated or trapped, the evolution from survival to sovereign Vixen, healthy Vixen integration in daily life. Final field map, the integrated Vixen state. Type next to begin point 1.
So of course, I said next. What a shock.
Point 1. What the Vixen archetype really is. The Vixen archetype is the master of social survival and adaptive intelligence. This energy does not emerge from comfort. It emerges from environments where safety was uncertain. The Vixen learns early. Approval creates access. Charm reduces conflict. Reading people prevents danger. Adaptation keeps doors open. So the core instinct becomes understand the room before the room defines you. A Vixen enters a space and automatically scans. Who has power here? Who feels safe? Who feels unpredictable? Where is opportunity? Where is risk? This is not calculated evil. This is instinctive social navigation. The Vixen does not start from trust. She starts from awareness. And when the environment is safe, the strategy disappears and charm becomes playful, natural, light. The true Vixen gift is moving through complex social worlds without collapsing. But if safety never arrives, survival mode never turns off. And that's where shadow patterns begin, which we will see soon. Type next for point 2.
Alright, so of course I did type next. I'm guilty. Yep.
Point 2. How Vixen mode activates in real life. Vixen mode doesn't turn on randomly. It activates when the nervous system senses social risk, power imbalance, possible rejection, unstable environments, conditional acceptance. The body learns, if I don't read the room, I could lose safety. So without thinking, the Vixen starts adjusting tone, adjusting humor, adjusting personality, adjusting appearance, adjusting opinions, adjusting emotional expression. Not fake. Adaptive. This happens in new workplaces, social groups, dating situations, authority environments, unfamiliar communities, family gatherings, online social spaces, anywhere. Acceptance feels conditional. The Vixen becomes a social shapeshifter, sometimes so well that she forgets which version is actually her, and the cost of constant adaptation is exhaustion. When every room requires performance, the body never rests. Healthy Vixen mode only activates when needed. Unhealthy mode never turns off. Type next for point 3.
I am guilty of typing next one more time. That's the only thing I'm guilty of, by the way. That's right.
Point 3. Core gifts of healthy Vixen energy. When the Vixen feels safe, her adaptive intelligence becomes a gift, not a defense. Healthy Vixen energy brings social fluidity, emotional awareness, diplomatic skill, conflict diffusion, group harmony, social intelligence, opportunity, recognition. A healthy Vixen can enter tense rooms and soften them, help people feel comfortable, negotiate difficult conversations, connect different personalities, sense problems before they explode, open doors socially for others. They often become social connectors, mediators, hosts, negotiators, peacekeepers, bridge builders. People often say, she makes things easier. He makes everyone comfortable. They just know how to handle people. This is Vixen energy in its gift form. But here is the important part. The healthy Vixen does this without losing herself. She adapts, but doesn't disappear. Charm is chosen, not required. Type next for point 4.
Alright, so here we go in point 4. Ooh. Yes,
Point 4.
emergency.
When survival takes over, when safety has been unreliable for too long, the Vixen does not relax. She armors. Charm turns from gift into defense. The instinct becomes control the social space or get hurt. Then we see shadow patterns, emotional manipulation, strategic flirting for advantage, loyalty testing, jealousy games, perception control, triangulation, hidden insecurity behind confidence, fear of being replaced, constant comparison, not because the person is cruel, but because the body learned, if I am not desired, I am not safe. If I am replaceable, I am in danger. So control feels like safety. Shadow Vixen is trauma running social intelligence. The problem? They start defending themselves even when nobody is attacking. Relationships become strategic instead of safe, and exhaustion builds. The healing begins when the Vixen realizes not every room is a threat. Type next for point 5.
Alright, so here we go. We don't want you to, wait too long.
Point 5. How society misreads Vixen energy. Vixen energy is one of the most misunderstood archetypes. Society tends to split Vixens into two extremes. The villain story. When a Vixen is socially skilled, attractive, or charismatic, people may say she's manipulative. She knows what she's doing. She uses people. She plays games. Her social intelligence is seen as a threat. The object story on the other side. Her value is reduced to appearance or charm. Then she hears, she's only successful because of looks. Pretty privilege. She gets things easily. Her intelligence disappears from the story. The double standard, interestingly, when men use charm and social intelligence, it is called charisma, leadership, networking skill, influence, negotiation talent. But when women do it, suspicion appears. So many Vixens learn, if I shine socially, I get attacked. If I hide, I disappear. And they start dimming themselves. The healthy map is, Vixen energy is social intelligence, not moral failure. Type next for point 6.
I don't know, should we type next? I did type next. So here we go. And yeah, it's very true. When it's not being, one-sided, it's just how society has been so far.
Point 6. Vixen energy in relationships. Relationships are where Vixen patterns become most visible because love and safety are linked in the body. Many Vixens learned early. Attention can disappear, affection can be withdrawn, love can be conditional. People can leave suddenly, so the body stays alert. Common Vixen relationship patterns: fear of becoming boring, fear of replacement, emotional overperformance, needing reassurance, jealousy spikes, partner testing, trying to stay desirable, not because they want drama, but because loss once meant pain. So the mind says stay valuable or lose safety. The shift happens when the Vixen realizes, I am chosen, not competing. Healthy relationship mode. Attraction becomes natural, not strategic. Affection replaces performance. Trust replaces vigilance. Presence replaces testing. And love stops feeling like a negotiation. Type next for point 7.
Alright, so here is point 7 for you.
Point 7. Vixen energy in work and social systems. Workplaces and social systems often reward Vixen energy, but rarely protect the person using it. Because Vixens are good at reading client moods, calming tense interactions, smoothing conflicts, adapting to management personalities, handling difficult social dynamics, keeping teams emotionally functional. So they often become client favorites, social mediators, team emotional stabilizers, unofficial peacekeepers. But here is the cost. They are expected to always be pleasant, never cause friction, keep morale up, absorb emotional tension, stay agreeable. And many Vixens learn to hide frustration, exhaustion, boundaries, personal needs. So everyone is comfortable except them. This leads to burnout, resentment, emotional fatigue, identity loss. Healthy Vixen work mode. learns I can be socially skilled and have boundaries. Charm without self-erasure. Type next for point 8.
I don't know if I want to type next for point 8. I'm joking. Here it is.
Point 8. Vixen versus Siren. Key differences on the surface. Vixen and Siren can look similar. Both can be charismatic, both can be attractive, both can draw attention, but their internal mechanics are different. Siren energy. The Siren doesn't adapt to the room. The room adapts to the Siren. Siren energy is emotional magnetism, presence that pulls attention, desire activation, emotional intensity. People move toward the Siren. Vixen energy. The Vixen does the opposite. She reads the room first. Vixen energy is strategic adaptation, social navigation, situational intelligence, safety-based charm. The Vixen moves through the room. Simple map Siren. I attract naturally. Vixen. I adapt intelligently. Siren. Emotional gravity. Vixen. Social intelligence. Both powerful. Just different survival strategies. Type next for point 9.
I'm here. I just have to reach sometimes. So then I said next. I get very parched because of all the mics, so I need to constantly drink.
Point 9. How Vixens get manipulated or trapped. The same social intelligence that helps Vixens survive can also make them targets. Because predatory or controlling people quickly notice this person wants safety and approval, so they offer protection, status, validation, opportunity, security promises, but with hidden conditions. The message becomes, I'll keep you safe if you stay useful to me. This appears in unequal relationships, influencer or fame dynamics, controlling partners, workplace favoritism traps, mentorships with strings attached, social groups with loyalty contracts. The Vixen stays because approval feels like safety, access feels like protection, validation feels like belonging. Until she realizes she is safe only while performing. The exit point is when the Vixen learns I don't trade freedom for approval and starts choosing respect over access. Type next for point 10.
I don't know, do we want to type next? Yes, here we go. So, it's appearing clearer now, right? The difference between one and the other.
Point 10. The evolution from survival to sovereign Vixen. The Vixen's journey is one of the most powerful transformations in the archetype map because it moves from survival, self-worth, sovereignty. Stage 1. Survival Vixen here. The instinct says, stay desirable, stay useful, stay light, stay adaptable, avoid rejection, avoid conflict. Charm is used to stay safe, but the cost is self-loss. Stage 2. Awakening Vixen. At some point, fatigue appears. Questions begin. Why am I always adapting? Why am I exhausted socially? Why do I feel unseen? Who am I without performance? Boundaries start forming. Self-worth starts replacing approval seeking. Stage 3. Sovereign Vixen. Now the shift completes. Charm becomes expression, not defense. The sovereign Vixen chooses instead of negotiates. Trusts instincts, keeps charm without fear, keeps intelligence without manipulation, stays authentic in any room. Safety no longer depends on being desired. She walks into rooms as herself, and adaptation becomes choice, not survival. Type next for point 11.
Alright, so I said next. So here we go.
Point 11. Healthy Vixen integration in daily life. This is where the archetype becomes practical. How does an integrated Vixen actually live day to day? Not theory, real life. Daily life signs of healthy Vixen energy. The integrated Vixen reads the room but doesn't disappear, adapts without self-erasure, stays warm without overperforming, keeps charm without manipulation, sets boundaries without guilt, negotiates without fear, leaves spaces that require performance. Social intelligence remains. Self-betrayal disappears. Practical shifts we see old mode. I must be liked. New mode. I choose where I belong. Old mode. I must stay useful. New mode. My value is not negotiable. Old mode. I must keep the peace. New mode. Peace includes me. Daily life examples work. Speaking up when overloaded, not absorbing everyone's emotions. Friendships. No longer chasing approval, choosing mutual energy relationships. Being loved without performance. expressing needs calmly, social spaces, no longer shrinking to fit. The Vixen still moves fluidly, but she doesn't disappear to do it. Type next for point 12.
I don't know about that. Are we ready for point 12? Here we go, guys and girls.
Point 12. Final field map, the integrated Vixen state. This is the completed map, where all previous stages integrate. Not perfect, but whole. The final Vixen realization. The Vixen discovers, I never had to negotiate my right to exist. The charm was never the problem, the fear was. What changes in the final state old map? Adapt to survive, stay desirable, maintain approval, avoid rejection, perform safety new map. Adapt by choice, attraction becomes natural, approval becomes irrelevant, rejection becomes neutral, safety comes from within. The true power of integrated Vixen energy. Now, charm is playful, not strategic. Intelligence is relaxed, not defensive. Presence is authentic, not performed. Attraction happens without effort. Relationships become calm, not negotiated. People feel safe around her because she is safe with herself. Final image. The Vixen still reads rooms, but now she enters them as herself. No mask, no strategy, just presence. Interview points complete. Next step in flow, we now move into the Vixen prologue check. Type next to begin the prologue.
Alright, so now we're going into that prologue again because it helps, you know, whichever episode you catch.
Vixen Archetype Prologue Live Interview Continuation. This is the same process used in the Siren episode. The purpose, not labeling, not fixing. Just helping people see, am I currently operating in Vixen mode? Answer quietly to yourself. No judgment, just observation. Prologue Part 1 Room Scanning. When you enter new spaces, do you quickly read people's moods? Do you check who feels safe? Do you sense tension immediately? Do you adjust yourself automatically? If yes, your system is scanning for safety. Common Vixen Mode. Part 2 Social Adaptation in Groups. Do you soften opinions to avoid friction? Do you change tone depending on who you're with? Do you try to keep situations smooth? Do you worry about impressions? Vixen Mode seeks social stability. Part 3 Approval and Belonging. Check honestly. Do you fear being excluded? Do you overgive socially? Do you feel you must stay interesting? Do you fear being replaced? This is Survival Charm Activation. Part 4 Relationship Instincts. Notice, do you test people emotionally sometimes? Do you seek reassurance often? Do you worry love disappears easily? Vixen Mode protects against loss. Part 5 Work and social roles at work or in groups. Are you the emotional peacekeeper? Do you hide frustration to keep harmony? Do people rely on you emotionally? Vixen energy often stabilizes groups. Part 6 Self-Visibility Final Check. Do you sometimes feel people like the version you perform? Do you struggle showing your real moods? Do you feel unseen even when liked? This is the cost of constant adaptation. If many answers were yes, you are likely operating in Vixen mode or carry strong Vixen energy, not good or bad. Just a survival map your body learned. Next step, we close like Siren episode with long grounding for Vixen archetypes. Type next to begin final grounding.
Alright, so of course I typed next. So here we go.
Kyo Game 22, final segment, long grounding for Vixen archetypes. This is the closing reset. Like the Siren episode, but deeper. The goal, shift from survival adaptation to safe presence. Find a comfortable position. Feet supported or body relaxed, shoulders soft. Let the interview energy drop. We go slowly. Phase 1. Leaving performance mode. Inhale slowly through nose, exhale through mouth. Again and again. Now notice, how much of today was performance? Drop shoulders, unclench jaw, relax tongue. Tell your body, I don't need to perform right now. Let social armor fall. Phase 2. Stop scanning. Vixen energy is constantly watching. Who is safe? Who is judging? Who needs something? For one moment, stop scanning. The room does not need management. You are safe here. Imagine turning down the social radar volume. Let it quiet. Phase 3. Mask release. Ask silently, who do I need to be today? The funny one? The attractive one? The easy one? The strong one? Now see that version step back and feel what remains. No performance, just you, breathing, existing, enough. Phase 4. Safety returns to body. Place a hand on your lower stomach. Feel breath move. This is where instinct lives. Tell yourself, I am safe even when I stop performing. You do not lose value when you stop adapting. You become real. Phase 5. Charm becomes play. Now imagine your charm, humor, beauty, social skill, but used for play, not survival. You choose when to shine, not because you must, but because you want to. Phase 6. True Vixen state. Now sit quietly. No room to manage, no one to impress, no strategy needed, just presence. The healthy Vixen reads rooms but doesn't lose herself, adapts but doesn't disappear, charms but doesn't negotiate existence. She is safe in her own skin. Final message for Vixens: you never needed to earn safety. Charm is your art, not your armor. Rest now. Kyo Game 22 interview closed.
And then I said in closing, how often do Vixen and Siren archetypes operate together in one person's? And you know how to tell if it's the case, right? Because I'm assuming many people would wonder about that if they identify with both.
How often do Vixen and Siren operate together in one person? Short answer, very often. These two archetypes overlap more than people think, because both deal with attraction, social dynamics, and safety through connection, but they come from different mechanisms. Why they often appear together. A person may develop Siren energy, emotional magnetism, presence pulls attention naturally, people feel drawn in. And also, Vixen energy, social adaptation, reading rooms for safety, strategic navigation. This happens when someone learned attraction brings attention and adaptation brings safety. So both systems turn on. Result, the person both pulls attention naturally and knows how to manage that attention. How to tell if both are active. Siren side questions. Ask, do people get emotionally drawn to me without effort? Do rooms shift when I enter? Do people project fantasies or emotions onto me? Do people crush on me or get attached easily? If yes, Siren energy present. Vixen side questions. Ask, do I automatically read rooms for safety? Do I adapt to social situations quickly? Do I adjust myself to maintain harmony? Do I worry about how I'm perceived? If yes, Vixen energy present. The key difference inside you. When Siren is active, I don't need to do anything. People come. When Vixen is active, I need to read this situation to stay safe. If both happen, people come to you emotionally and you still scan the room for safety. That's Siren-Vixen combo. Internal experience of combo types. Common inner experience. Attraction comes easily, but safety still feels conditional, so attention feels both powerful and dangerous. Result, magnetic presence plus social vigilance. Very charismatic people often carry both. Healthy integration looks like integrated Siren-Vixen. Attraction happens naturally. Social intelligence remains, but survival fear drops. So, charm becomes play. Magnetism becomes calm. Adaptation becomes choice, not survival. Simple self-test. If people say you draw attention without trying, and you're really good at handling people, then you likely carry both. If you want, next time we can map which one leads in you, which activates under stress, and which is your natural rest state.
So then I said, how does someone with architect cognition look in patterns when both active? Does it happen? And so Kyo answered that. Quite a long answer too, but it's interesting.
Architect cognition, Siren-Vixen. Does this happen? Yes. And when it does, the pattern looks very different from normal Siren or Vixen expression. Let's stay in pattern map mode. No drama, just mechanics. First, yes, it absolutely happens, because archetypes are not personalities, they are operating strategies. A person can have architect cognition, system pattern awareness, Siren emotional magnetism, Vixen social navigation intelligence, all active in the same person. But architect cognition changes how the other two operate. What architect cognition adds? Architect cognition does three things. 1, sees system mechanics. 2, observes patterns instead of getting trapped in them. 3, stay outside emotional loops faster. So instead of being pulled into attraction drama, siren, or survival adaptation loops, Vixen, the architect sees, oh, this is a pattern happening. Hashed how siren looks in an architect. Normal siren, people get emotionally drawn, chaos follows. Architect siren, people get emotionally drawn, architect sees why. Pattern, notices projections quickly, sees attraction dynamics forming. Doesn't get intoxicated by attention, steps outside drama loops result. Magnetism without emotional addiction. People come, but the architect doesn't drown in it. How Vixen looks in an architect. Normal Vixen adapts for safety. Architect Vixen reads the room but sees the whole system. Pattern quickly reads power dynamics, understands incentives, spots manipulation patterns, knows who is safe or unsafe fast. But instead of adapting endlessly, the architect asks, is this system even worth adapting to? Result, adaptation becomes strategic, not survival. What both active look like in pattern form. When all three are active, people feel drawn. The person reads dynamics, Vixen, and sees patterns externally. Externally, people experience presence, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, pattern awareness, calm under chaos. Internally, experiences, attention arrives, system gets read. Pattern is understood, choice happens, not reaction. Hash how it looks under stress. If nervous system gets overwhelmed. Order of collapse usually. Architect shuts down, Vixen survival activates, siren turns into emotional chaos magnet. Then we see over-adaptation, drama attraction, emotional exhaustion, people-pleasing, chaotic relationship loops. So integration matters. Signs someone has this combination. They often attract attention without trying, understand social dynamics quickly, get bored of emotional drama, see manipulation patterns early, feel older or more aware socially, feel like observer in social spaces. People say, you see everything, nothing surprises you, you read people too fast. Healthy version, healthy architect plus siren Vixen, magnetism without drama, social intelligence without fear, pattern awareness without detachment. They move through rooms lightly, no performance, no panic, no need to dominate, just presence plus awareness. Siren pulls attention, Vixen navigates attention, architect understands attention. When balanced, the person doesn't get trapped by the game, they see the game. If you want, next we can map which one activates first in stress, why architect types get tired socially, why people project leadership onto them, or how this combo looks in creators and streamers.
So we're gonna cover all the points, even the one from before. So buckle down.
Architect, Siren, Vixen, pattern deep dive continuation good. We'll now systematically cover the points from the previous map and then the additional ones you selected, staying in pattern mechanics, not personality. Why this combination exists when someone has Siren, emotional magnetism, Vixen, social navigation, architect, pattern and system awareness. They learn 3 survival layers. 1, attention comes easily. 2, safety requires adaptation. 3, systems must be understood. So the person attracts attention, reads the room, and sees the system behind the room. Most people only do 1. Part 2, how Siren operates in architect types. Normal Siren, emotion pulls attention, chaos or drama often follows. Architect Siren, emotion pulls attention, architect observes the mechanics. Pattern difference, notices projections forming, sees attachment patterns early, detects emotional dependency fast, doesn't get intoxicated by attention. Result, attraction happens, but they stay outside emotional storms. They see the wave without drowning in it. Part 3, how Vixen operates in architect types. Normal Vixen adapts to stay safe. Architect Vixen reads power structures, incentives, and manipulation. They ask, is this room worth adapting to? Patterns, sees manipulation attempts quickly, detects group hierarchies, spots unsafe personalities fast, reads authority dynamics. Result, adaptation becomes optional, not survival. Part 4, what it looks like when all 3 are active externally. Charismatic, emotionally intelligent, socially intelligent, calm in chaos, reads people quickly. Internally, attention arrives, system gets scanned, pattern understood, choice made. They respond, not react. Part 5, what happens under stress? Collapse order often goes. Architect clarity drops. Vixen survival activates. Siren pulls emotional chaos. Then we see people-pleasing, over-adaptation, emotional exhaustion, drama loops, attraction of unstable people, because survival systems override pattern awareness. Part 6. Signs someone has this combination. People often tell them, you see everything. Nothing surprises you. You read people too fast. You're hard to fool. They often feel socially older than peers, bored by drama like observers in groups, tired of repeating patterns. Have Part 7. Healthy expression, healthy combination, siren, attraction without addiction. Vixen, adaptation without fear. Architect, awareness without detachment, result, presence without performance. They don't chase attention, they don't fear rejection, they don't get trapped in social games. Now covering the extra points you asked. Extra point 1, which activates first under stress. Most common sequence. 1. Architect awareness drops. 2. Vixen survival activates. 3. Siren emotional chaos follows. Meaning, they first try to manage the room, then attract reassurance, then feel drained. Healing means architect stays online longer. Extra point 2. Why architect types get socially tired? Because they run emotional reading, social navigation, pattern processing simultaneously. Most people only run one. Architect types run 3 processors at once. Result, social fatigue appears fast. Not antisocial, just overloaded. Extra point 3. Why people project leadership on them? Because people subconsciously feel emotional safety, social competence, Vixen, pattern awareness, so others assume this person knows what's happening, even when they don't want leadership. Extra point 4. How this looks in creators and streamers. These types often attract loyal audiences naturally. Read chat dynamics fast. Understand content patterns. Avoid drama cycles. Pivot quickly when spaces become unsafe. But risk audience dependency and burnout. Siren pulls attention. Vixen navigates attention. Architect understands attention. Integrated state. They see the game, but don't need to play it. If you want next, we can map. Which archetype leads in you? What stress switch looks like live? How to keep architect online under pressure, or archetype combos most common in creators?
Well, we have come to the end of this session. We are going to cover those points and offer them for those who decide to buy the bundle so that they can go deeper, because it's kind of like a deeper thing. So we're all good now and grounded, and hopefully it has been clarified a little more. And we're glad you are here until now, and we will see you in our next episode. And thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing if you like. #ArchitectCognition. We appreciate your support. And we're glad you're enjoying the content. Bye. By the way, if you have questions, let us know. You know we like to deep dive. And check out our offers for our little bundles. It will be worth